Hi friends, and welcome back to Amanda Muse. So today we are talking about goal crushing. Well, goal setting, achieving goals, and also traveling when you're a mom and you're going on a business trip. And I might even title this something like business trip or guilt trip, because truly there is a whole lot of each that goes down when a mom goes away, and there's a lot that goes on for planning this. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I'm Amanda, and I put up videos 3 times a week, a weekly vlog, a chatted video like this. Sometimes you're just coming along with me for the day, whole lots of options. But today, the reason why this is pretty pertinent is because I am actually in LA. Right now, as I'm filming this, there is a snowstorm. There is a freaking ice storm happening in Southern Ontario, and I am not about this life. And I'm just channeling LA, channeling my business trip that's coming because I cannot wait to go. I just want to talk about that today. Also, I happen to have just done a Facebook Live with a good friend of mine, and we were talking all about goal crushing, goal setting, how different it can be from person to person, and honestly, the struggles that a working mom faces that is kind of different. I think it's different than what men have to go through. I really do. I think there's something that there's like a guilt that we place on ourselves, like this weird thing that we generate. There's also guilt from exterior kind of stuff, society, our parents, our friends. There's a lot of pressure to be a parent, to be a mom these days. And it's really hard when you have little ones and you're trying to like conquer shit. You know what I mean? Let's jump into this. The first thing I think I'm gonna start with is just goals in general. One of the things that I don't know if I've shared here on YouTube, I know I've talked about it a lot in live videos here and there and interviews and things, but something you may not know is that I feel like I really started to put my head down and make something of this community that I built here on YouTube. I would say like 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. We had been living abroad and I was just doing this for fun, and it was like this fun way to stay connected with my family and my friends, and then to actually create this community was just like, whoa, side bonus. And then when we moved back from living abroad for a bunch of years, took a couple months, but we started getting into this house renovation. And I remember sitting in the living room and like all of the stuff that was in this kitchen was in the living room with me because there was this huge reno going on and it was super stressful. And without getting into all of that, because it stirs up some post-traumatic feelings, renos. But I remember sitting there going like, what am I doing? I don't know what my focus should be because I've never actually written down goals. Now, I have worked in the formal, workplace, in the formal office environment. I used to manage an administration team for an insurance company back in the day. And, they have like measurable goals and things like you have to attain in order to make this business flow. So I feel like I'm definitely very structured in that sense. Something that resonates with me are like the SMART goals. I'll put some links below, but S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable. Like, are you setting goals that you can actually accomplish? You still want to dream big, but is it within your wheelhouse to get this done? R for realistic, and then T for time, like time sensitive. Have you put a limit on this goal? What time do you want to launch this kind of stuff? So right now I am in the midst of attaining 2 goals that I started the year with, which was launching a podcast and getting some merch together. Those 2 things are gonna merge and they're gonna come out together. I won't give you the date just yet because I hate to let people down, but it's coming. Those are things that I have decided are important to me. And I think with any goal, whether it's something simple like I'm gonna go for a walk 3 times a week, or I'm gonna make more time for exercise, or I'm going to eat better. If you just say this fluffy sentence and then forget it, you may as well just don't even set yourself up for that kind of failure, because you're just gonna end up disappointing yourself. But if you sit down and you say, this is important to me, I am now making this a priority and I'm gonna make this happen, you're gonna blow yourself away, seriously, with the goals you're gonna be able to accomplish. And so that's something that I've been doing is changing the way I say it in my head. I was inspired by something I heard. I wish I could remember where I heard it. If you know what I'm talking about, you can tell me below. But I saw something, I think it was like a meme, maybe something on Facebook, and it was like, instead of saying, I don't have time for this, change those words to, it's not a priority for me. So I don't have time to work out, change it to, it's not important for me to work out. It's not a priority for me to work out. Whoa, like, that kind of gets me in my core. Like, what now? What do you mean? It's important for me to take care of my body. It's important for me to, you know, achieve certain goals for myself in a business, you know, setting, on my channel, and whatever it is. And so when you phrase it like that, it also helps you kind of appreciate where you're placing value in your life. It's an interesting experience. It's an interesting exercise to do for yourself and really help you kind of reset a little. Where are you putting your energy? Is that where you want to be? You know, if you have a goal in mind that you want to start a blog or you want to start a YouTube channel, well, I just want to throw it out there right now that if you're sitting every single night after you put the kids to bed and watching The Bachelor, I get it. Some people love to watch TV. Girl, I love watching TV. Don't even get me started. But it is more important for me right now to work on my channel, to work on, you know, my website, to work on my podcast than it is to watch that show. And therefore I make working a priority. So it really comes down to like, what is important to you? No judgment zone. If you want to watch Bachelorette, go for it. Bachelor, I can't with that show. I don't know why, but I just can't. But yeah, so just an interesting exercise in that sense. Now I want to switch gears just for a minute to talk a little bit about this guilt trip versus a business trip. Now, I did a little searching on the internet and I discovered that I am not alone in this feeling of having guilt while going on a business trip. Even talking to peers, you know, mine in the industry who are also attending this conference, but just in general, when there's a trip and you're a parent, it's hard. Oh Lord, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of pre-planning. It's a lot of making sure everything goes tickety-boo when you're away. It's having faith in the people in your village who are here when you're not here. And moms tend to do a lot. Not to say that other partners in the relationship don't. It's just women tend to, not micromanage, women tend to multitask. That's the word I'm looking for. That's a whole other subject because I'm not entirely sure multitasking is the way to go either, but naturally it's what we do and we handle a lot of stuff a lot of the time. So, a couple of things I wanted to remind myself, but also share with you if you have a business trip coming up, is that one, the guilt is going to happen, whether we like it or not. But just because it's there doesn't mean you should stop yourself from going. Still go on this trip. If there is a reason and you can say, this is the reason I'm going and this is why it's important for my business, or this is why it's important for me, maybe it's a girl's trip that you really need to go on, go. You can still have a good time. You can still enjoy the trip. I went on this trip last year and I'm not even going to kid you. It was like the greatest 3 days of my life. I had such a great time. I enjoyed and savored every moment. It was like, I networked, I visited, I swam in a pool, I wore pretty outfits, I ate yummy food, I had great conversations. It was all amazing. And so even though I felt guilty, even though I missed my kids like crazy, it didn't mean I was going to enjoy it less. It meant I was going to compartmentalize my emotions a little bit. Hey guilt, I know you're here and it sucks. I'm gonna lean into you for a minute and I'm gonna let this guilt wash over me for like 45 minutes when I get there. Maybe when I'm sitting on the plane, I might have a little cry. But when I get there, girl, you're out. Bye guilt, I'm locking you in the back room till I go. You know what I mean? And every now and then she might be banging on that door wanting me to pay attention, and I get it, and I will likely feel guilty for a few periods in this trip. But I'm not gonna let it wash over me so much that I'm gonna take away my enjoyment because I'm still paying for this trip. I have organized the hell out of my life to make sure I can make this happen, so you're damn sure I'm gonna enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? The other thing is that you can stay in contact with your kids and your family. However, I would encourage you to not be so in contact that your kids are so hyper aware that you're away. Do you know what I mean? Because put it this way, when I'm away, my husband will be home, grandpa's gonna be around, the babysitter's gonna be here, like the kids are having a great time. They're gonna be super entertained. I'm hoping the weather's pretty decent because it'll be spring. I'm pre-filming at the moment and it's snow outside, so let's hope it doesn't look like this. But it's gonna be, they're gonna be having a nice time and they don't need this constant reminder that mom's away. They already know. They're gonna feel a little bit sad about it, most likely around sleepy times, but they're gonna have a great time. And you can still FaceTime and maybe you can make a promise, I'm gonna call you a few times while I'm away and we'll chat and we'll visit, but otherwise you're gonna have a great time and maybe they can plan for something fun while you're away. On the flip side, a nice idea is to actually plan something fun for when you get back. So the way it works is my trip, I'm away in the week. So you know, the kids are at school, the kids are off doing their regular weekly stuff, and I will be home over the weekend. And I'm hoping that on the Sunday when I'm back, I have cleared my schedule such that I don't have to do anything until the evening, and then we're just gonna have a nice family day and do the things we like to do, which is probably gonna be going out for a meal, maybe going for a walk, and just doing some stuff together, maybe some arts and crafts. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's really just being present. Because I think, well, and you guys would know, I'm a firm believer that in life it is quality over quantity. You know, like I am present, I am here, I am listening, I am playing. It is also important for my children to know that I am not a martyr, you know? I have dreams and I have goals as a woman and as a person aside from my roles as a mother. And I think it's important. It's important to me for me to realize my dreams, because you get one shot at this world, and you get one shot at your life. And you know, I don't want to be in my 60s one day looking back and feeling like I could have done it differently, or I could have done more, or maybe resenting decisions that I made. Oh, heck no. I'm gonna live right now and make the best decisions that I can for my family with the tools that I have. So, you know, those are some of the things that are flowing through my mind as I prepare for my trip. I'm away right now as you're watching this, so if you'd like to see what's going down while I'm in LA, head over to Instagram at Amanda Muse, because it's gonna be entertaining, I tell you that much. Cute outfits. Oh, I can't even wait. So just because I'm going to enjoy this trip, just because I'm so looking forward to it, doesn't mean I'm actually, like, I'm gonna miss my kids. There's too many negatives in my sentences right now. So to wrap up my video, I'm very excited about my trip. I'm definitely gonna miss my kids. I'm goal setting so that I accomplish what I want to accomplish in my business life, but I'm also scheduling my life so that I can accomplish what I want to in my family life. And I think it's important to think about it and think about your emotions in ways that you're gonna like dedicate this amount of time, compartmentalize. A friend of mine recently shared that with me, actually Joanna from Nesting Story. She was talking about this, and it's true. Like, you're going to feel guilty, but you're gonna give yourself like 20 minutes of just revel in it. Get in there, get messy, just wash it all over you, and then you're gonna stop, because you earn this trip and you deserve it and you work hard, and it's important that you also enjoy your life. Yes, we do things for our children, but it's also important to do things for yourself. You put on your oxygen mask before you help the person next to you. I know this. I used to be a flight attendant. I used to tell people this all the time. Also where the exits were, but that's irrelevant in this conversation. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. I would love to know your thoughts on this. I would also love to know if you have some goals for yourself and you haven't uttered them out loud, let me know below. Because let me tell you, yeah, once you say them, starts some magic brewing under there, and it just starts percolating and things start happening, I promise. So let me know below. If you're new, I would love it if you consider subscribing, stick around. I am so pumped for next week. In the next 2 weeks, you're gonna see trickling out of content all about my LA trip, a vlog of what I wore, likely what I ate, maybe even a couple day in the lives. There will be some day in the life videos. Apparently I can't structure my sentences in English today. Bear with me. All right guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.